The Sooner State has historically ranked towards the back of the pack when it comes to things like obesity, infant mortality rates, and education. But the Sooner State also leads the nation in a category that should make Oklahomans proud. Steve Shaw is here to tell us about it. Steve?
Jason, the single most valuable resource to any civilization is water. Oklahoma has a lot of rivers and streams, and the Sooner State has proven it's one of the best at taking care of this very valuable resource.
We have anywhere from 28,000 miles to 78,000 miles of streams, depending on the size where you want to make the cutoff. We sample a lot of sites. We have about 250 regular rotation sites in the state, so we have a lot of water we sample.
Brooks Trammell is Director of Monitoring and Assessment for the Oklahoma Conservation Commission. Tuesday afternoon, a group of technicians, including Nathan Carter and Joey Dyer, climbed down into Willow Creek in Cleveland County, just outside of Lexington, and collected 2 jugs of Willow Creek water.
We think of it as kind of like a doctor's visit every year. You do a wellness checkup. We're kind of doing a wellness checkup on the streams. Everybody uses water. We use it for drinking, we use it for recreational use, we use it for industrial use, for agricultural use. So it's very important to know the condition of water and then areas that need some help that we can go in and actually do some work.
The streams that we do wadeable streams for the state of Oklahoma. So this is kind of a typical site. We have some smaller, some bigger.
Jason Ramming is monitoring coordinator. Ramming says when Carter and Dyer fill those jugs, they go to a lab where that water is checked for nutrients, for nitrates and phosphorus. In the summer, they check E. coli and ammonia levels as well.
They'll do every 5 weeks. We go back to these same sites. We'll do every 5 weeks, we'll come back and we'll do that for 2 years. Then we rotate through these river basins every 5 years. So we'll do this one and in 5 years we'll be back.
The Sooner State boasts around 400 rivers and streams, so these guys stay busy year-round. Generations ago, the water quality everywhere wasn't very good.
Waters aren't necessarily in terrible shape, but we use the water every day. Everybody needs it. It's for protection, for drinking water, like I said, for recreation, for all the uses we have. And we need a handle on the trend, long-term trend of that water and where we're headed.
To rehabilitate Oklahoma's water supply, Trammell says several state agencies and private landowners have had a hand.
Most farmers really care about the land. They care about neighbors. They care about all that's their livelihood and what we need in the state. So what we find by doing these visits and find the condition of water and the trends of the water, we can make that known to the landowners, and most of them want to do the right thing and make improvements.
Oklahoma is a rural state. Trammell says the Conservation Commission is constantly working with farmers on ways to minimize the impact of animal waste. He says pasture management is one way. Another tool farmers use is something called off-site watering, which moves cows away from streams and creeks. Farmers also use something called rotational grazing.
We have even done septic systems in watersheds that have old and outdated septic systems. So we have a big bag of practices that is generally locally guided by the landowner as our biggest partner, and also by conservation districts, which are very important. They're our local arm of government. And then we also have a great partner in the USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service as a federal partner in the communities. And they can work with the landowner to tailor these practices that fit on the land that actually bring about improvements.
Just because there's cattle nearby doesn't mean the creek is dirty.
No, it's not. If it's managed properly, it can still be a good, productive, stream with it. If we have riparian fencing or just the right numbers of cattle per acres, it's not necessarily a bad thing.
There are also federal financial incentives farmers use to maintain a buffer between agricultural operations and nearby rivers, creeks, and streams. This is an example of a good, healthy buffer between a livestock operation and the 50 yards or so it is down to the stream. And Oklahoma compares notes with other states when it comes to the health of its rivers and streams. The Sooner State is proud to report this year Oklahoma has 94 less polluted streams than there were before. Dan Dvorak compiles all of that data for the Conservation Commission.
I can't speak directly to how many improvements there are in other states. I know that we lead the nation. We're in the top few in the number of streams that have been delisted. 94 streams have been removed from the impaired water body list. I believe that's 138 individual pollutants that we've delisted those streams for. We know we're in the top few. And again, that's a testament to our partnerships with landowners and with our other agencies that are doing the work. Those voluntary conservation practices, they're a win-win for landowners. It's something that improves the bottom line for the producer. They get to pick and choose what conservation practices fit best for their operation, and we see the results in the stream. We see better water quality as a result of those practices.
Those Conservation Commission technicians also use the types of fish they find in different rivers and creeks and streams to help determine the water quality.